All right, so we're at the 1019 practice. We're ready to go over it. So if you come here for help on a particular problem, please make sure that you watch my opening video on this to see if there were some hints I would give you to, just kind of get you going before you just completely watch how I explain one, okay? Obviously, if you are still stuck, then you're at the right place. Or if you're done and you're ready to go over it, you're in the right place too. All right, so Carlos walked to school on 14 out of the 20 days in February. What percent of days did he not walk? All right, so here we have walked and we have not walked. And we have the total days. All right, so he walked 14 out of 20. So when you say 14 of the 20, right, the 20 is the total. So if he walked 14, he either walked or he didn't walk. So he didn't walk 6. Remember that you subtract the two numbers to see which one you're missing. Right, now we're looking for a percent. Percents are ratios out of 100. So 20 times 5 is 100. And what you do there, you do on the other ones. So that's going to be 30. That's going to be 70. You make sure they add up to 100, and they do. So he walked 70% of the days. He did not walk 30% of the days. All right, second one. 20% of the tickets sold at a water park are adult tickets. 55 total tickets were sold. How many were adult tickets? All right, I went ahead and filled in a lot of this one because I'm kind of a different one. So what you need to do first is simplify the 20 out of 100. Okay, so I'm going to just put another box here. Could have put it right here in this box. That's fine too. All right, so if we simplify this, we could do this by 20. All right, so that's going to give us 1, 4, and 5. Now, from here, we can get back to the 55 by doing 5 times 11 is 55. I'm going to kind of write it like that. Now, it's kind of weird to think that way, but 5 times 11 is 55. Now, what we did there, we're going to do here. So that's going to be 4 times 11 and 1 times 11. So that's going to be 11 and 44. So the adult tickets are going to be 11. All right. Number 3, similar skill here, but you don't have to simplify. 1 earned a 95% grade on his test. So that's the part he got right? The percent he got right or correct. We're looking for how many he got correct and incorrect. So correct, and then incorrect, and then the total. So we know he got 95% right out of 100 because percent's out of 100. That means he only had 5% wrong. So if there's 20 questions on a test, then 20 times 5 is 100. So then something times 5 is 5. Well, that's 1. And then something times 5 is 95. So then you think backwards, 5 into 95, and that will get you 19. Okay. So the reverse of multiplying is dividing. All right. So he had 19 questions right and only 1 wrong. All right. Number 4, the length of a certain rectangle is 4 times its width. That's a 4-to-1 ratio. Again, just recognize that 4 times something means 4-to-1, right? All right. Now, if the length is 24 centimeters, what is the width? Okay. So we'll start with writing the ratio that we have, 4-to-1. Now, the length is 24. What is the width? Well, 4 times 6 is 24. So 1 times 6 is 6. All right, so 6 centimeters. If the width was 2.7 centimeters, what would the length be? So let's go back to the first ratio. We're going to start at the 1. 1 times 2.7, right? That's how you get from the 1 to 2.7. So we do the same on the top. So 4 times 2.7. We're going to need to probably come over here somewhere and do 2.7 times 4. I always put the one with the less digits on the bottom just because it's easier. All right. And then 4 times 2 is 8. 2 is 10. So that's going to be 10.8. Make sure you got 1 decimal place in the problem. So 1 in the answer when you multiply. All right. whatever's in the problem is what's in the answer. So the length, if the width was 2.7, the length would be 10.8 centimeters. All right, I'm just showing you that having a decimal in there is not going to make it impossible. All right, and then when we get to like SC Ready and stuff, there'll be some of these with harder numbers, but they'll give you a calculator that'll pop up. It's used for that, but you still will need to know how the ratio works to know what you're doing. All right, so 8 out of 10 students in 6th grade said that math was their favorite. If there are 220 students in 6th grade, how many students said math was their favorite? So you could write the wording in a few different ways. I'm just going to put like the math people out of the total. All right, so 8 out of 10 liked math. There's 220 students in 6th grade. So notice that's total students, not people who like math. Then we're looking at on the top for the amount that like math. So 10 times 22. And if you didn't know that, you could just divide 10 into 220. And then that's going to give you 22 times 8. 8 times 2 is 16. All right. And then 1 is 17. So 176 who liked math. I didn't put a little line there, but you see it's on the math line. All right, number 6, the exchange rate of American dollars to Japanese yen, which is the Japanese currency, is 1 to 82. $1, 82 yen. So if I trade in 7 American dollars, how many yen should I get? Well, 1 times 7 is 7, so 82 times 7 is going to be my answer here. So 82 times 7, 56, and 1 is 57. So 574 yen for my $7. All right, now this next one here, we're going to get into some more of these types where we're working from different sorts of charts and graphs and then interpreting ratios and percents and things like that. All right, so here we have different cereal types. Again, cereal actually just refers to grains, all right? And so we normally just think of it as the stuff in the box. So anyway, there's 50 total. So what you have to do on a question like this, where there's a bunch of them in the charts, to see what the total is there. And that's going to be 50. All right, so here, I already went over this one in the beginning video, but that makes this 30%, all right, for oatmeal. All right, so now grits. So we got grits over total. Right, like that. Grits number was 10 out of the 50. And there's 100 total, so that's just times 2. You're going to find this is not a very hard problem once you get going on it. All right, 20% prefer grits. Wheat porridge, I guess we're in Goldilocks and the Three Bears or something. Let's change it. I'll make it kind of a gold color. There you go. Or at least orange. Wheat porridge. So we got porridge over total. All right, that's 2 out of 50. Oops. All right, and then we're looking for the percent. That's going to be a times 2. Times 2. It's going to be 4% that like wheat porridge. All right. Cold cereal. That's a lot of people, obviously. All right, so that's going to be 20 out of 50. And we don't know out of 100. So that's times 2. Times 2. So that's going to be 40 out of 100. Or 40%. All right. And then the others are going to be 3 out of 50. And we just go to 100 here. And then that's going to be times 2. Times 2. And it's going to be 6 out of 100, which of course is 6%. Percents are out of 100. All right, so those should add up to 100, which they do. All right, but that's how you could know if you're right, is by adding them all up. So like 30, 50, 54, 94, 100. Or you can kind of group the 4 and the 6 and make a 10 out of them that way. All right, so the kinds of things you might be, ask is, I saw a problem with this one on it that said, did more than 5% of people pick other? Yes, that would be true, right? Or another one that said, the percentage of people who picked oatmeal was 15%. No, it wasn't. That's just a kind of a lazy mistake to pick that one. It's 30%. So that's why you have to be showing your work so you're not tricked on one like that. All right, so make sure you have the work like this and have it turned in, and know if there's any questions from what we've done the last couple of weeks, make sure you do that before you take the quiz on Friday, which is going to be a significant grade for this class.